Okay, let's have a look at the simple single figure 8 knot. So I'm going to work at the end of one line of rope, and all I'm going to do is go round my original line, around the back, up to the front, and pass through the hole that I've made. There's our figure of 8. We can see that it works like a number 8. Most common mistake that I see is that people will start that motion, go around to the back, and then bring that line straight back through the hole that they've made. And you can see that we've not done enough twists, and we don't have our nice 8 shape. It's more like our granny knot. Okay, so let's have a look at it properly again. Going over the top, not coming in at the back, coming all the way back around the front, and I'm tying my figure 8 off there. Okay, so the way I like to tie the figure 8 knot, give myself a lot of tail at the end, is to actually hold the rope fed over my hand, with my loose end sitting between my line of rope and my arm. I'm just going to take that line of rope, spin to the back, and then I'm going to feed all of that length of rope through. So there's my figure 8. Give myself enough tail to then feed through and retie. Let's do that one more time. Resting over my hand, here's my loose end of rope, pulling around the front to the back, feeding through my top loop. And there's my figure of 8. Okay, let's do a rethreaded figure of 8. So I'm just checking my figure of 8 knot that I've previously tied. I'm going to go around my object. That could actually be back through my harness or whatever it needs to be. I'm going to take my loose line of rope, and what we're looking to do is to follow my original line of rope back from my object, or if I'm tying through my harness, this would be my harness, and I'm going to follow that line of rope. If you want to make that with children, like a racetrack and placing your car on the racetrack, or a train track and placing your train on the tracks, that's fine. But essentially I'm just following that line of rope back through. Around the back here, and finishes down this way. Okay, so I've followed that line all the way around and through, and then I'm just going to pull that nice and tight. Good idea to pull opposite ends here. What I mean by that is this sits on the right hand side, this sits on the left, sitting on the left, sitting on the right, and pulling opposites. Nice and tidy knot so that it sits relatively flat and we've got no gaps or crosses where we don't need them. And nice couple of ways to check our rethreaded figure of 8. One, that it still looks like an 8, that we have 10 strands of rope and that they're all in pairs. So I'm going to count them out from the top. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 strands of rope. We also want to look that we've got a teardrop sitting here tied to our object, or if this is our harness, the teardrop that's coming through, and then back out this end of rope that we've got enough length at that tail end. And essentially you can measure that with a little gnarly symbol, or that I can grab 2 fist lengths of rope and that I still have enough at this end here. Okay, so there's our rethreaded figure of 8. Take a bite rather than a single strand, and I'm going to tie it in exactly the same fashion, but this time pulling a bite through the end. So that now looks like my rethreaded figure of 8, but I've just tied that already on the bite. The advantage here is that I've now got a working loop that I can clip into a carabiner, but still making sure that out the other end I do have enough tail. We could, once we've clipped that, do our checks as well. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I have a teardrop coming out of the knot, and I have enough tail coming out this end. We'll tie that one more time. Doubling over my rope to create a bite, making sure that I've got enough length to tie that figure 8 on a bite. Round and through. Tighten my ends off. Ready for clipping.